Hi everyone, my name's Natasha Balfour and this is Becoming Her Anyways. Are you constantly searching up study tips and not really sure how to actually get into a consistent habit of studying? Well, in this episode, I'll be going over my personal techniques that helped me get through high school. The first and most important tip I'm ever going to give you for studying is do not study at home. I cannot stress this enough. Do not study in your room and generally don't study in your house. Now, why do I say this? Well, your mind is conditioned to behave in different ways depending on where you are. So, for example, your mind associates sleeping with your bedroom, which is why when you come home, you feel so tired, because obviously this is where your bed is. In contrast, when you're at school, your mind is wired to work because you know that you can't relax there. The best thing you can do is find a study space outside of your house that you can use every single day after you go to school. So, for example, my gym had a cafe, so every single day after school, I would go to that cafe and revise. And my mind associated this cafe with working. So whenever I was there, it was easy. I could work there for hours. No one bothered me. I wasn't distracted by anything. When I went there, my mind knew that it was time to work. It didn't matter how I personally felt or whether I had any motivation for that day. This is how I stay disciplined from the age of 16 to 18. Next, don't listen to music that has lyrics in it. So what I did was I listened to these things called alpha beats and like beta beats, which they said like increased, the frequency in your brain and made you concentrate. I don't know if it really did that, but I liked it and it helped me concentrate. I would also say piano music, jazz cafe music, make it a little bit more romantic. Obviously studying is hard, guys, and it takes a lot of energy. You need to commit to it. But, there's nothing wrong with finding some music that you enjoy that doesn't have any lyrics that you can concentrate with. I think also understanding how you learn is important. I suppose you could use AI to help you these days, but what I did was I knew that like if I wrote something down like over and over again, if I wanted to learn, for example, like from a textbook, I would just rewrite what the textbook said. Sometimes if I didn't understand, I would rewrite it again and again. Later on, what I did was I used AI to rephrase certain things if I didn't understand something, which really helped me, especially ChatGPT. And I'd be like, okay, what does this sentence like mean? Because sometimes things were worded weirdly or I just didn't get it, especially with philosophy. Some concepts were very complex and I needed, something to explain it to me. I found that really, really useful. Big one, put your phone away. Don't have it anywhere near you. Put it in your bag away, like so you can't see it, so that you're not distracted. Don't use your phone at all. I don't care about your study bunny or whatever. Don't use your phone. Okay, seriously, like for anything, use your computer. I don't care, timers, whatever. Don't be on your phone because you will get distracted. When choosing a place, I would recommend somewhere. I mean, it doesn't have to be close to your home. Obviously, it depends how far you're willing to travel, but somewhere that's nice and kind of aesthetic, For me, I was quite lucky because, like I said, my gym had a cafe, so I didn't need to buy stuff. But, go to like a cafe, get yourself a coffee and, do it somewhere nice, like somewhere that that you can concentrate, somewhere with plugs, you know, just do it maybe next to a window or something. But just make sure it's outside your house. I don't care. I know a lot of people can study inside the house and, maybe if you have a big house or whatever, that's great for you. But honestly, anyway, like I would say like going outside is better because then at least you're seeing people, even if you're not interacting with them that much, you're more likely to bump into people or, it makes you feel less alone, in my opinion. For me, like I knew people that were at my gym, so I would see them and like we would be able to talk a bit. Obviously, we sat on separate tables when we revised because we did not come together, but we could still say bye to each other, whatever, sometimes go out for, bite to eat or whatever. I wouldn't recommend studying with your friends. Like that's one thing, like do not do that. I suppose if you guys just end up being at the same place at the same time, that's fine. But I would not necessarily recommend going together because you guys will just talk and like distract each other. So if you guys are at the same time at one place, don't talk to each other and stay at separate tables. Like don't sit together. It's very important. Noise cancelling headphones were a big one for me as well. Those really helped. Something that I did was that if I knew that the classes weren't going to help me, I wouldn't go. And I know you guys, have strict parents, some of you, and, you can't do that, and that's fine. But if you have the ability to skip classes, don't be afraid to skip to revise, because sometimes you know better than your teacher does in the sense of, like, where you want to, go over certain things. Like, that's what I did. So I would skip class deliberately. And yeah, obviously, some of us get in trouble for this. So be smart about it, obviously. Don't, go to school and then, like, leave. Obviously, I understand it's difficult, but at the end of the day, you need to take into account your own initiative because this is your education and not theirs. It doesn't matter. Don't just sit through things just because you think that you have to. Don't be a sheep. I know that school has taught us to be really obedient and listen to teachers, but especially when you're older, the teachers don't always know what's right in the sense like what you need individually. And guys, don't just rely on them because at the end of the day, like don't just sit through stupid things. Like school is a great place for learning, right? But sometimes like they don't care about wasting your time. Sometimes they'll put you in stupid lectures, give you stupid workshops so you don't need. Like I'm not talking about things that are actually helpful. I'm talking about stupid things. For example, if you know a school trip isn't going to help you and you have a bunch of studying to do, skip the school trip, and it's somewhere fun, obviously. But if it's like educational, right, and it's just something stupid, like for example, we were taken to like a university that I've already been to a million times, right? Why would I go to that? Like 6 hours of my time wasted. I feel like a lot of people do just blindly follow like the school system. And I feel like that's so wrong because you guys actually need to use your own common sense. Like, is this going to help me? Is going to this assembly going to help me? Probably not. So skip it. I don't care. Guys, honestly, like this is your time. You cannot allow them to take this from you. And school will do that. School will try to waste your life a lot. Like, I don't know why it's so normalized, but like these stupid like lectures, like you guys know what I'm talking about, leaving the whole year group in for like this like anti-bullying week, right? And listen, I'm not saying skip all of them, but I'm saying like if you know that something's not going to help you, that like it's wasting your time, don't go. Take some initiative because guys, I feel like generally like people are just so committed to the school system. And at the end of the day, like if you're going to classes that you know aren't helping you, you know you're not learning anything, why are you going to them? Why? Go to the cafe that you want to, designate all your study to. Find a good table, comfortable. It's got nice lighting, you can see things. It's not just like the aesthetic, but it's also practical. But you enjoy being there because it's like a nice environment, right? And go there instead. Unfortunately, today I didn't have time to make an episode. I am actually going to start scheduling my episodes because normally I record them spontaneously, but relying too much on my free time means that sometimes I can't get an episode out. So I will try to fix that for you guys. But thank you guys so much for listening. By the way, I have quite a big international audience. I'm going to read out all of the places that I have an audience, and it's going to be really cool. So I'm going to say hi to all of you, right? So we currently have audience in the United Kingdom, United States, Lebanon, New Zealand, Australia, Kenya, Ecuador, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and Canada. What's actually really interesting is the ages of the people that watch this podcast differ from 18 to 44, which is quite crazy. So hi guys, thank you so much for listening. By the way, I just want to clear up that my podcast is genderless. Like I do cater to both genders. I know that it is a little bit more targeted towards women just because I am a woman and lots of time I am talking about women's experiences. But I really appreciate the 21.3% of men that are watching this because, obviously the things I talk about can be generalized. I know that, the branding was a little bit, feminine. I understand that. But I'm really happy you guys could, listen to this because obviously, men's mental health is important. And obviously, I would like men to want to improve their lives because obviously that would make them better partners and, better people. And that's great. So thank you guys so much for listening. I love having an international audience because, it suggests to me that I must be doing something right. That the fact that people all over the world are listening to me. So if you guys are from those countries, hello. My name is Natasha Belfer and this is Becoming Her Anyways.